What's up everyone, it's TheRazoredEdge. Today we're here to bring guys another Gears 5 video, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Gears 5 Training Grounds multiplayer map flythrough that has been released by the Coalition, which gives us a brand new look at the brand new map known as Training Grounds, which is obviously kind of like a callback or a nod to Training Grounds mode from Gears of War 2, and this is obviously a mock-up of the boot camp mode that we've seen in revealed for Gears 5. So the map, definitely aesthetically wise, just from looking at the first kind of frame here, has that DB Industries look to it. Seems to be like, re-erecting old buildings, and I have to say, from what I've seen of the map so far, it's definitely kind of giving off that post-Locust War vibe. This looks like the aftermath of the giant worm. After the Locust sunk all of the human cities, this is what the result is, and I think this is kind of like the first time we're really getting a look at that. Obviously, in Gears 2, we saw what was happening, and then in Gears 3 we saw the kind of the life after, but we didn't really see kind of like the devastation of everything. I know we saw like some cities damaged, but we didn't see like all the potholes and what happened after the ocean sunk into all the cities and stuff. So this is kind of like what Planet Sierra looks like after all that. So, and we'll kind of have a bit of a glance through here. So we have Training Grounds, Gears 5, and then you can see the crane kind of holding up that building. DB Industries style. The center of the map here with kind of a double stairs. DB Repair 006. So what I'm really curious about is, does Barrett, obviously Barrett is head of DB Industries. He named it after himself because he's an egotistical mister. And he's got even got a DB head logo there. Does he own it and it's like his business, or is it like completely government ran? That's something that I really want to know. But this is kind of like one of the sides of the map, it looks like. We got double stairs. Maybe a weapon will spawn there. I noticed that in the last flythrough for District that there wasn't any weapons placed. I'm guessing that's because they haven't finalized anything. So over here we have kind of a DB deployment thing, which is cool to see. There was one like that on Gears of War 4's version of War Machine. And then up here is actually the House of Sovereigns. So that's where that tie-in comes in with the boot camp mode, because we know the boot camp mode, the map for that takes place right in front of the House of Sovereigns. So I'm curious if boot camp takes place on this map, or if this map just is based off of the boot camp mode, and the boot camp mode would look different. That's kind of something we've yet to see. And then we have a King Raven up here with a tarp on it, which definitely looks like it's been sitting here for a while. So I'm wondering if this has been like recovered from the Locust War era, or if this has come here and this is what's helped set up this kind of DB camp, because obviously this DB stuff doesn't get here on its own. So maybe this King Raven lifted this stuff in and just parked there and they left it there, and that's why it's overgrown. Or maybe this DB thing is kind of like helping tie together the world and fix it up, and that King Raven is from kind of the Swarm era, we'll call it. But this kind of looks like the same side again. Obviously, I think the DB logo was on the side of that right there. Let's have a look, see what else there is. Okay, so we have kind of a helipad logo. You know what the helipad reminds me of? It reminds me of, it actually really reminds me of Rustlung. There's a helipad set up exactly like that on Rustlung. Most people don't notice that, because if you don't look up, you can't see the King Raven up on right above where the Mulcher spawn is. But there appears to be kind of like a solar panel here. And then in the background, you may notice that there is a dam. Now, I'm wondering if the Gears of War 4 and Gears of War 3, I'm wondering if like they're trying to tie in locations together. Is this the dam that we've seen throughout Gears of War 4? Is this the dam with all the heads that we saw on it throughout the campaign? Is it connected to the multiplayer map dam, and it's kind of like tying in locations like that? So like, is the dam we've seen all along been right next to the House of Sovereigns? I wonder if that's how close those locations were, and how good those tie-ins are. So with all these kind of like monitors and panels on the wall, I'm wondering if maybe there's some kind of interactive gimmick to this map. Will there be a button you can press that can change some of the environment? Maybe an Easter egg, or set off some kind of alarm or something like that. It'd be interesting to see if that's kind of part of it. Okay, we get kind of a flick through of a couple of things here. This looks very like what was that map? This looks very like Impact, one of the spawns on Impact. You can kind of see some crushed van. That looks very Gears 1, just that part, and then it's got the DB Industries pillars there. They've done a really good job of blending that kind of like Locust War era stuff with the new generation stuff. I really like that, and they're using the DB Industries stuff to fix up the old stuff. There's something about that that's really cool. But anyway, let's go on here. So data control, no unauthorized access, will do. So it shows that there's something to do with power here. So this stuff is making me think even more that there is some kind of interactive gimmick to this map. And then here, so it says wave number 32, targets hit, wave begins in 6 seconds, safe, ready, fire. So I'm wondering, is this something to do with an Easter egg on the map that you can maybe deploy those DBs and have like a little game of Horde mode in a multiplayer match or something like that? Or is this because this is the boot camp map and you're going to be able to you know, do spawns of DBs at you so you can practice, but you can't actually do use waves in the middle of a multiplayer match because that might disturb things? Or maybe the Easter egg is that deep that maybe you won't be able to do it in a kind of a public multiplayer match without, you know, without great difficulty, kind of like maybe the Leviathan Easter egg from Harbor in Gears of War 4. So we'll see. If there is an Easter egg that in depth, and if there is some kind of interactive gimmick to this map, I'll definitely be impressed. So there's kind of an overshot of the middle of the map. You got 4 pieces of cover here. This looks like it's going to be an absolute Nasher frenzy. And then there's kind of like overlooks. I wonder if you can hop off of these. You probably can. With the new cover system, they seem to let you jump off of 2 stories. Especially, like, if you guys keep in mind security from Gears of War 4, you can vault right over this kind of stuff and jump down here. So I'm assuming you probably can do that in Gears 5. So we'll see. Then there's some servers here, and then in the back there, you can kind of see some Locust War kind of pre-swarm era kind of architecture back there that's all crushed up. This looks like maybe one of the spawns, perhaps. Then we've kind of a slant edge here. I know this isn't a great example, but I saw in some of the escape gameplay that was shown at E3 2019, if there was, say this piece of cover was like right here, kind of below this, if your character vaulted it, they would do a sliding animation down it, but you couldn't get back up. I wonder if they'll have any geometry like that in Versus, or if they'll just keep that stuff kind of exclusively to campaign and escape and maybe Horde mode. Well, obviously Horde mode will probably share multiplayer maps, so maybe not. I'll be curious to see if they'll introduce stuff like that. Then we get a look at some more kind of Locust era stuff, some servers. There's kind of a diagram of a DB over here, some kind of little hard drives or something like that. That curtain definitely looked, I'm not sure if that's something we know, the curtain there in particular. Here's kind of another overview of the map right here. You can see the dam in the background. Some of there's something you noticed at the end of Gears of War 2 was kind of the way the cities are falling apart, and some buildings were still attached to clusters of land. So you can see that there, that building is stranded out there on its own. Alright, let's see what else. There's a good overview here. So we saw a lot of this kind of architecture actually in Gears of War 4, which is interesting. Oh, do you know what this? You see this fountain over here? This looks exactly like one of the. I'm fairly certain. I'd be willing to bet that that's actually a fountain from an early chapter in Gears of War 1. I think it's before you get to the House of Sovereigns, you pull up to a courtyard where you have to throw grenades into a bunch of emergence holes, and you can hop in that, and you're there with Carmine and Kim and Dom. And I think that's the exact fountain. If I'm not mistaken, because it's right by the House of Sovereigns, so it makes sense that is that fountain, which would be pretty wild, because that's what it looks like. If I've noticed that, that's absolutely madness. I don't particularly know if that's anybody significant on that right there, but okay. So here's a really good overview of the map. You can see the DB Industries technology kind of holding this building up. God, they really are like piecing the world together. These buildings look like kind of from the introduction of Gears Ultimate Edition, the way they remastered the Saren cities. It looks exactly like that. Let's have a look. See, there's nothing else kind of stand out that I'm trying to see details wise. The dam's obviously in the background there, and then House of Sovereigns is over to the right. Okay, here. So this reminds me of, this looks like I will call this a sniper tower. Of course, it remains to be seen what weapon will spawn here, but this looks exactly like a piece of geometry from Lost City from Gears of War Judgment, which is actually one of my favorite maps from that game, and not a lot of people got to play it because it was from a DLC that not many people kind of had a chance to play. So I'm happy to see this kind of similar geometry to come back. Looks like you can hide underneath it there as well, which is cool. But yeah, I like this. It looks like definitely a place you can hold. I'm curious if you can jump off the edge. I doubt it for this. I think this looks too high for that kind of thing. But it's cool. Definitely looks like something you can hold down. But I'm assuming there's probably going to be like drop shots or grenades to counter the fact that people could be sitting up here. Something like that. That's cool. I definitely like kind of perches like that. Alright, so there's a good look at the DBs right there. So as I said, with that kind of middle pillar thing with the number and waves on it, I'm curious if there's an interactive element that you can maybe make these DBs come out as an Easter egg. I don't know if maybe you can just press it and it makes alarm noises and there's some kind of animation and that's what it is, and it doesn't necessarily interrupt anything. But it's cool to have this kind of in the background. As I said, it reminds me of the War Machine, the Gears of War 4 War Machine variant. But anyways, moving on here. And then there's kind of, this is very similar to kind of cave, the cave from Foundation, that kind of piece of T cover, U cover kind of thing. A lot of national fights will take place there. This actually reminds me of, there was a build of Gears of War 4 that I got to play that had kind of a mock-up training grounds actually, and it looked like a green screen and it had a piece of geometry exactly like this. There was like swarm here and swarm here, and you could practice doing the grab stuff on them. So that looks like, this looks inspired kind of by that. So that's cool to see. A back shot on that there. Ooh, what is that? Is there like a mural there on the back of the wall, or is that just like a dent that's just like perfectly square? It does look like something, but I'm not sure. But this is the way up, so it definitely looks like there is no way other way up apart from these two stairs, so you can definitely camp up there. So as I said, there probably will be some kind of explosives to flush people out of there for sure. Helipad, high wind area, stay back. Number 6. So this is like facility number 6, facility 006. Is there a bunch more out there? Could we have other maps kind of based off of kind of DB mock-up locations? There's a good look at the solar panel. What else? Alright, so here's the granddaddy shot of them all, the House of Sovereigns. But it's cool the way we're getting that kind of tie-in with the original Gears trilogy here. You know, you have the King Raven there, you have the House of Sovereigns. It's cool that we have like these tie-in locations. As I said, I think the House of Sovereigns and the Dam that we've been seeing throughout Gears of War 4 could be in the same area. That'd be cool to see, like a nice little tie-in knitted like that between, excuse me, between the new trilogy and the old. So it's cool that they can do stuff like that even just through something as simple as some multiplayer maps. It's amazing how easily you can expand lore that way. And there it is, that's everything. So Easter egg wise, I think there could be something to do with the DBs and the way you can you know, maybe deploy them at some point. I don't know if that's the case, but and then in terms of like an interactive gimmick, maybe that could involve the DBs or something like that, or maybe you could like start some kind of training thing that happens on the map, who knows. But let me know what you guys think. What do you think of the new training grounds map? Obviously, as I said, the name seems to be a callback to Gears of War 2, its training grounds mode. They've obviously renamed training grounds the actual to boot camp in this game, so you know, having that nice little nod to Gears of War 2 there is pretty cool. But let me know what you guys think of training grounds in the comment section down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to my channel for all future Gears 5 related content. Share the video around if you really enjoyed it. Follow me on Twitter at TheRazoredEdge. Be sure to join my Discord via the link in the description down below if you want to talk Gears 5 all day, every day. And I will see you guys next time. Hey guys, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like, leave a comment down below letting me know what you thought, subscribe to my channel if you're brand new for more videos, share the video around if you really enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.